Brought to you by Penguin.
Leadership is language, the hidden power of what you say and what you don't. This is the author, L. David Marquet. This book is dedicated to the crew of El Faro, with the belief that their example will invite self-reflection upon our own language, and the hope that they will help us become better leaders.
Forward by Shane Mack. Read by Jack Armstrong. Let me save you some time and heartbreak. Listen to what David says. I only wish I did sooner. It would have saved me a lot of grief and millions of dollars. Like many people you know, or maybe even you, I've spent my life trying to make it look like I had all the answers. I needed everyone to think I was smart. Whatever the cause, I was raised to believe being right and having the answers was a hallmark of leadership. It wasn't until my last company that I realized something was wrong. After raising over $30 million, recruiting some of the best people I've ever worked with, and having the opportunity to lead and build product at one of the hottest startups in Silicon Valley, I couldn't escape a gnawing, enigmatic dread. We had enough capital. We had the right people, and yet everyone was miserable. It took me a long time to see and admit it, but I was the problem. When I didn't know the answers, I felt insecure, and I did not want people to see it. So I overcompensated by pushing. I cajoled people to get on board, go my way or get out. I had convinced myself that this was the right approach because, of course, I had the answers. Everyone left. The company was recapitalized, and all the investors lost their money. No one else got $1, and I was depressed. A few years before these events, I saw David Marquet speak. Everything he said was the opposite of the approach I later adopted at that failed business. In moments of clarity during those times, I would remember David's words and wish I could find a way to apply them to our work. The chastening experience of that failure caused me to recommit to developing my leadership skills. At my next company, Assist, I rebuilt my approach from the ground up, with David's guidance as my foundation. With my co-founder, Robert Stevens, the founder of Geek Squad, Assist became the leader in the AI space, powering brands on new platforms like Google Assistant, Alexa, and messaging apps. There is zero question that David's insight and guidance contributed in a giant way to our success. From the first word I wrote to start the company, everything was through the lens of what this book is about. Curiosity was our core value. We celebrated what we didn't know, and know-it-alls weren't welcome. How we used our words became how we respected people and operated effectively. We practiced using language with one another that forced people to own making decisions. We would remind people it's okay to say, I don't know. I hired people and asked them to teach me. We helped people go from saying, I think we should, to I've already done. There was no need to ask for permission. Today, my number one priority is partnering to create a workplace culture that expands the range of empowerment so more people have the skills and agency to act in the service of the greatest good. Inversely, the more permission that is needed, the less people will be empowered to think and lead, and the worse the place will be to work. It wasn't always easy. Many people don't believe they can or should operate in this way. Ultimately, I saw my job as CEO evolve to a place where my goal was to make as few decisions as possible. That's a long distance away from the guy who had to hide behind a mask of all knowledge. Everything in this book is exactly how I strive to lead Assist. And in 2019, Assist was acquired for millions. As I watched my colleagues move to great positions at prestigious companies, I felt incredibly lucky to have had the opportunity to learn and grow.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?